Spider-Man. Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 are probably the three movies I've watched the most, especially Spider-Man 2, yet I haven't reviewed them yet. In fact, I haven't reviewed a movie in a while. My recent reviews have been about cartoons. So it's time for me to loosen up a bit. I'm reviewing the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. Spider-Man 1 is fun and close to good. I don't know. To be honest, Spider-Man 1 didn't hold up for me very much, but enough at least to be considered enjoyable. It's not a bad movie. It's nowhere near bad. I guess I can say it's good. I enjoy watching Peter Parker in this movie. Out of all the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, this is the best version of Peter Parker. He's smart, awkward, nerdy, inspiring, and relatable. As the movie goes by, Peter slowly loses some of those traits, especially the smart part. I like seeing him as Spider-Man. The suit looks fantastic, and watching him swing around in the city, crawling walls, and doing some Spidey moves was really cool. I like Harry Osborn here, not as much as him in Spider-Man 2, but he's still Harry Osborn. I like his relationship with his father and with Peter. He's not the best friend to Peter, but I don't think that's the point. I love the villain of the movie. I think he's my favorite part about the movie. Norman Osborn individually was already a likable character. Adding the Green Goblin side of him only made him even more awesome. I like the Green Goblin in this movie. He's so over the top, I love it. I also like Aunt May, Uncle Ben, and J. Jonah Jameson. The movie also features some great moments, my favorite being the with great power comes great responsibility scene. The thing about this sentence is that it's surrounded with a lot of emotion. What came before and after this sentence are emotionally powerful moments, from a discussion of Peter's recent behavior to Peter accusing Uncle Ben of not trusting him. It's perfect. Finally, I like the score of this movie, even though I'm sick to death. I enjoy what James Horner and Hans Zimmer offered to Mark Webb's Spider-Man movies, but they do not reach Danny Elfman's theme song. However, this movie has big problems. For instance, the Green Goblin. Never mind the fact that his suit looks ridiculous. There were some moments, particularly with Spider-Man, that felt like something was missing. There's a moment in the movie where Green Goblin offers Spider-Man to be his ally. It's way too early, by the way. Green Goblin barely knows him, and we haven't even seen enough of Spider-Man's true potential. What we got from Spider-Man in action was silly at best. It was corny and not at all as fast-paced as we wanted it to be. After Goblin made the proposal, we cut to a scene where we see newspaper covering the news that Spider-Man is wanted by the police. A scene after that, Goblin reunites with Spider-Man and asks if he accepts his proposal, and Spider-Man responds saying that he didn't. The reason why all of this bothered me is that I feel like there should have been a scene where Peter at least thinks about Goblin's proposal, but there wasn't. Before that reunion, Peter was just goofing around with MJ, which felt out of place, by the way. In one scene, Goblin proposes a deal with Spider-Man. The next one, we see Peter talking with MJ like absolutely nothing happened to him, and then he saves her and makes out with her. Followed by that scene is another where Spider-Man saves a baby and reunites with Goblin to discuss the proposal. Where's the correlation? Remember, these three scenes feature Peter Parker, yet they have nothing to do with the previous or following ones. Now, about Mary Jane. She's not as good as the rest of the characters. She's not much of a poor character. She has her problems and challenges, but although I struggle to identify her personality, my problem is what they do with her character. Firstly, I didn't like her conversations with Peter. They're so awkward, I have trouble seeing their chemistry, if they even have one. Second problem, she is constantly in danger. I don't know how many YouTubers have made fun of her for being a pathetic damsel in distress. In the second movie, she gets into danger twice. In the third movie, once, arguably. However, in this movie, she's in danger 4 times. Really? Peter, I don't think not dating MJ is enough to keep her safe. You have to lock her in a cage. I'm also not a big fan of how this movie was directed, particularly how it was edited. It moved away from the usual cinematic style a little to a more comic book style. I don't necessarily think that's bad, it's just that the movie came off as kind of goofy. Not nearly as bad as the 2003 Hulk movie, and you can still have fun with it, but I'd prefer it had been a little more cinematic. If I had to be honest, I prefer The Amazing Spider-Man 1 over this, but this movie is still enjoyable and recommendable.